Hey, I'm Taru42, and in this video I'll be showing you the best block palettes for medieval castles. Let's go! As with any episode of the Best Block Palette series, I've got 10 block palettes ready to show you, and there'll be a nice fully built castle at the end just to demonstrate how this works with detailing. Okay, with this first one, we've got just basic cobblestone and stone, nothing complicated. It's great for survival, just starting out, if you just want something that looks a bit ominous and menacing, or just secure, I suppose. Got these arrow slits just to make it look a bit more realistic and accurate to the time we're in, and just I like to do this little staircase edging. I think it just kind of makes it look a bit like a stronger foundation, which helps it look good, sturdy and protective, I suppose. And the same with the stone, just stone stairs. A little bit more difficult in survival, I suppose, with stone, takes some smelting, but still relatively straightforward to get. Okay, so adding in some texture variations on the next one with stone and andesite, probably my favourite combination of stone in the whole of this game. I put stone bricks around the edge. You don't have to do that. I just thought it looked like it's pretty solid along the bottom, but you could easily go with stone stairs or andesite stairs to kind of keep with the theme. Over here, a similar kind of idea, but swapping out the andesite for stone bricks. I think it gives it a really kind of solid and well-built feel, which really makes it look like a castle. Again, with stone brick, I think that works really well here to give it a solid kind of edge line. And yeah, again with the arrow slits, just to add some realism. These next ones are a bit different, so we've got more of a ruined castle look. Pretty simple, just the three kinds of stone bricks, so normal, mossy and cracked, which really makes it look like it's kind of weathered and quite old. Great for a kind of ruined effect. This next one's pretty weird, it just kind of popped into my mind and I thought I'd give it a go. Throwing in some polished andesite, which is probably one of my favourite blocks, with stone bricks. It's a little bit weird, but it does kind of give a structural feel and maybe a bit more of an industrial kind of sense to the build. Maybe not the best block palette for a castle, but I think it looks interesting, and if you're going for a slightly different kind of take on the traditional medieval castle, this might be a great way to go for you. Again, edging. Over here I put in some mossy stone bricks on the edging. Unfortunately there aren't any cracked stone brick stairs. A little bit disappointed there, but the mossy ones still look good in this build. Okay, now we're going for something a bit more complicated with texture variation using 3 different blocks. So on these I've both gone with a base of stone, but for this first one we're mixing in some andesite and some light grey concrete powder, which may seem like a very weird block to use for a castle build, but it actually works really well. It's got a very kind of stony feel, and it really feels like a kind of highlights the lighter points in the andesite. So I would recommend putting it next to the andesite if you're doing this texture variation, otherwise it looks a bit out of place. But when you do it, I think it looks really great. This next one, a similar kind of idea with gravel and stone bricks. Again, a little bit strange, but I really do think it does work. It kind of gives a grainy sense to some of the areas and looks a little bit more weathered maybe. And then the stone bricks bringing in some more structure as well as the foundation kind of area on the edge. Okay, these next ones I'm using some gradients to really create interest and kind of make a kind of built up look. This first one, same blocks I used for this one, but starting with a base of stone, then into andesite, and then into light grey concrete powder. It's pretty simple with just 3 blocks, but it does work pretty well in my opinion. As long as you don't use too much of the light grey concrete powder, it just adds a little bit of highlight to the very top. And then the stone bricks at the bottom really give it a good kind of strong edge line that stops it from feeling too cluttered. This one, again going with a kind of ruined look, similar to the one further back there. But this time going with a gradient, so you can see how it's slowly being weathered away from top down as it kind of the wind is hitting it and the weather hitting it at the top. So kind of working up from stone bricks to mossy stone bricks to cracked, and then leaving some blocks out to really give it a ruined feel. This is quite an interesting one. I don't know if I'd necessarily use this in a build, but I definitely think it's good if you're looking for a ruined kind of style. Now, you might have seen this off in the far corner when I was recording some of the clips earlier. You'll notice I haven't actually built a castle, and let me just explain. I'm planning to get replay mods set up on my computer just about now, and then I'll be able to give you a super awesome time lapse showing you me building this castle using one of these block palettes. So, for the very first time on my channel, let's kick this off into time lapse mode and see how this thing looks. you enjoyed that time lapse. I've had a great time making it, and replay mod is a great tool, and I'm so glad that I know how to use it now. Pretty happy with the way this castle turned out. I like the gradient from stone bricks all the way up to diorite. I know it looks a little bit weird having that kind of really light, weirdly patterned block on top of it, but I wanted to give it a try, and I think it turned out okay in the end. Just done some edging around the archway just to give it a bit more of a solid look, as with many of the other kind of stone bricks areas, all to give solidity. Done a nice carpet here, just with some pillars on the side up to the throne. And yeah, I think all that's left for me to say is that if you did enjoy, please consider subscribing. I'm pretty new to this whole YouTube thing, and it does really help me out. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you next time.